Welcome back, everybody, to this new Let's Play. We're going to be starting a Let's Play of Fantasy Wars. Currently, I only have plans to do the human campaign for the moment. And then in the future, we'll see what we have. You should have seen a video before this one in my YouTube channel that was talking about some various changes and things that are going to be happening in the future on the channel. And also on that video, in the area right below the video, there should have been some polls. Make sure if you haven't yet, you go there, click on them, and vote. And if you don't really want to watch that video, I will put a link to the polls also at the bottom of this video, so you can go and vote. So make sure you vote so you can decide on what games to play next. And if you do enjoy Fantasy Wars and you'd like to see the next two campaigns in the series, the Auric and the Alliance one, let me know down below in the comments section. But as we go, I'll be explaining things. I have played this game before, and I have beaten the human campaign. It's been a while, so we'll see how it goes. We should be fine, I think, though, and be able to claim victory, hopefully, over the despicable orcs. And yeah, I guess we'll just get going and I'll explain things as we go. This game is not very well documented online, so it's hard to know exactly how all the combat mechanics and things for the game work, because if you go searching online, it's not that easy to find much on this game. But let's get going. So the human campaign. For a long time now, Derek File, the youngest son of a poor noble family, has been making his living as a mercenary. His numerous victories have earned him the reputation of a great commander. Eventually, File's army was hired on a long-term basis by the Trade Council of Silent. But the neighboring kingdoms did not rush to attack the free town, and merchants felt really bad about paying the money to maintain the mercenaries. File's army was sent to Darrenhall. King Victor pays gold for tranquility of his southern borders. Alright, to Darrenhall then.
The Trade Council has resolved that it is too costly to maintain my army. They're sending us to the south, to Darrenhall. It is said that King Victor is once again having trouble with the orcs along his borders. What do you think?
I tried to make the council change their mind. I reminded them of Laurence and King Stephen. He still wants to get his hands on our town. But the merchants flew off the handle. They even brought up your noble birth. They don't trust you, my friend.
I know, but I am no longer the Count of Tarlia. I am the captain of a mercenary army, and I am ready to follow their orders. Who will then defend Silent, though?
Well, the wizards of my academy may have to dust off some of their old tactics. If things go badly, I'll send you a message.
All right. Good luck to you, Master.
Luck to you, Derek.
Alright, and this game, if you haven't played it before, is just a tactical turn-based strategy game where, you know, you get a small army and you try to make it through every level, and there's 10 missions in the human campaign. So we'll be doing one every video for the next 2 weeks. So our first one is Wind of the Steppes. And I guess this is just saying the same thing we read right at the beginning. So we're going to arrive at Mecklenburg and capture the Kellerstein Fortress, I'm going to say. And I think we'll stick with the usual and go with normal difficulty. So really at this moment, there's no, we don't know what the main story is, other than there's some orcs on the border.
Your army represents the only chance we have at defeating the goblins. They are weak, but their number is great. What's more is we don't have enough men to replace all that have fallen. But now with your help, they'll soon get what's coming to them. Demons beware! Here they come!
Something also you'll notice as we're playing, if you're ever reading along, is that the voice acting and the text a lot of times do not match up. For whatever reason. I don't really know the reasoning behind that. For some reason they decided not. They must have written the text and done the voice acting separately, and they never worked to make sure that they matched up, because that happens fairly often, I feel like. So that's just something to expect as you're playing. One thing though, I mean, 2012, I think this game came out. The fact that it has voice acting though is kind of nice because that's not as common. Like nowadays, it's pretty common in 2021. But mostly we're here to help remove some orcs from the border. So how this game works, it's hex based and you have your units. And I'll go over that in 1 second. And so as you go over, you can look over the map, and the map will have arrows pointing at the objectives. And if you look over here in this box, if we go over anything like this is plains. We can see here, oh, this is the village of Harsfeld. And you can see underneath the village picture, it says Goblin Looter. So we can see, or over here, oh, there's our scouts, and they're in a forest. If you just kind of mouse over stuff, you can see things like this is the Markenberg ruins, a castle. Now the thing over here is where we're attempting to go. Like that's our main quest here, the Kylerstein Fortress. At least I believe so. I think that's what it said. Oops, wrong button. We want this one. Yeah, we need to liberate that fortress is our main quest. And then Derek, who's our hero unit, cannot die. And we can arrive at Mecklenburg, which we will do. That's this one here. Technically, we don't have... I don't know if we have to do this one. Some quests are optional in the game. I believe this one might be optional. Like, I've never actually tried it. If we went to the Kylerstein Fortress, though, I'm guessing the quest would still end, and this guy would probably just be mad at us. Another thing, too, is when you click on this Show Quest Log down here, at the top, you will see a number of turns, and you'll get a rating. So if we can complete the map in 8 turns, we'll get a gold rating. 11, we'll get a silver, and 16, we'll get a bronze. And every mission is different, so it could be more or less turns. They're not necessary. You do get some bonus gold, and depending on how well you do, if you're only bronze, you'll probably only get some gold. If you're silver, you may get some low quality unit that will join your army. And if you're gold rating, you'll get a better quality unit a lot of times. And all of them give you better gold. Like it could be 100 gold, 200 gold, or 300 gold. Just as an example, that's not what it is. I don't think there's any way to see what your reward is if you haven't done it before. And every once in a while, a reward will be an artifact, an item. And items you can attach to a unit or a hero to make them a little better. And we'll go over that more as we get items. But it's just a goal to achieve. You don't have to do it. Like some levels do have a time limit, where if you don't meet the time limit, you will lose the mission. But like getting the gold or the silver is not required. It's just a nice bonus. I personally would not sacrifice losing a unit in order to try to get, let's say, a silver or gold. So every time your units do an attack, defend against an attack, kill a unit, they'll get experience. So if we click on our hero here, Derek, let's go to him. We right click on him. It brings up his card. It tells us all the information about him, like his defense, attacks. All these are attacks over here normally, so different units have different attacks. Like if we clicked on a bowman instead of charge, which he has because he's a mounted unit, it would say a ranged attack. Almost every unit has a melee attack, which is pretty much what they use if somebody attacks them in melee. And then down here you can see movement types and sights. That's how many hexes away this unit can see. And the movement points, it is sometimes important to go over it, because sure, it says 4 movement points here, but if you look on there, different types of terrain affect movement differently. So for instance, because he's a mounted unit, if he was going through a forest hex would use all 4 points of his movement, because he gets that 25. You see that 25% there in forests. So it would take him 4 movement points to go through 1 forest hex. So like if he had 8 movement for some reason, he could go through 2 hexes at most. Meanwhile, like it says road there, 143%. So that means if he goes to a road, if he's on a road, he can actually move 5 hexes. I believe it's going to be. It's really close to 6. It's not all the way to 6, and I believe the game rounds down, so I believe it'll be 5. But we'll test it as we go. The point being, every unit has different types of I don't know what to call it, movement types, I guess. Yeah, I guess it says movement type right on it. So it says mounted if you look up there. So if we go to a different unit, let's go to, like, this unit's our scout unit. So he's got what's called all-terrain movement type, and as you can see, most terrain types other than swamps or rivers, he can move through at a normal pace. So if he goes through forests, he can move through 4 forest hexes without a problem. So that's something to keep in mind as you're playing. And something also, there's perks over here, and as units level up, and you can see all units right now at the beginning of the game be level 0. As they do things, attack, defend, kill units, they'll gain XP, and when they get to 100 and level up, they'll become stronger, and you'll get to pick a perk for them, which can be really useful. Now, all units in the game that aren't heroes and certain other special units are actually groups of units. Like Derek, he's a single unit with 10 health. But most of your other units, like if you click on this bowman, it says 10 hit points. There's actually 10 people in this unit. Same thing with, say, these scouts. There's actually 10 units. There's not... So, heroes, like if he... Let's say he loses half his hit points and he's only got 5 health. He will still fight just as well as when he had 10. Now, units, all your normal units that are actually like a squad of troops, so like this militia here is actually 15 soldiers. So if he loses, let's say, 5 hit points, he's actually lost 5 units. So he only has 10 units now that can attack. So it actually makes a big difference if your units lose a lot of strength, if they're not something like a hero or some special unit that is... actually made up of only one unit. And let me actually, where's settings? Let me actually show you real quick in case you're interested. When you go to settings, if you go to game, you can see figurine scale. If you go to always small, I prefer big myself, but if you go to always small, and we'll look at that real quick and go back, as you can see, everything's been made small, but it's broken down the units into their actual squads. So you can see that, oh yeah, these bowmen are made up of 10 bowmen, or 15 militia, and 1 hero. So losing units from their squad actually lowers their combat capability. And this works the same for the enemy. Like there's some goblins over here. There's 15 goblin looters over here. So if we were to come over and kill 10 of them, and there's only 5 of them left, their combat ability will just plummet, and they won't be very effective in combat anymore against a full health squad. That's just something to keep in mind. If you put changing, if you zoom in and out, they will change sizes. I prefer big. Myself, it's just easier to see for my eyes personally, but if you prefer the other way, change it. So as we can see, Goblin Looter's over here. And if you look at units, if you're having trouble when, things get more cluttered and there's more units, your units have this blue banner around them. You see this blue banner around their health bar? And enemy units have whatever their faction colors. Like the orcs are red. And you'll meet other factions that maybe are yellow or other colors. And so you just want to keep in mind that different factions will have a different color banner around their health bar. So that's just something to keep in mind. I think we'll get going here and I'll explain more as we go. Let's look over what units we did start with, though. You can always see your army right here in this bar. We have Derek. Let's look at him real quick. So yeah, looks like he's pretty good. He does have a commander perk. So this game has a morale system, and if units take too much damage during an attack or a defense, they may retreat, and potentially there's a roll in the background that happens, and I don't exactly know the exact mechanics of it, that can cause units to get broken. And if they have a broken morale, they get a lot of negatives. It's like a -6, for instance. So all of a sudden, like if Derek's here if Derek here lost morale and was broken, he'd suddenly have a 6 defense and a 3 melee attack. Like, he'd be much weaker, and his charge would just be non-existent. Like I was saying before, a lot of things are not well explained in this game. For instance, this charge skill. It's not well explained exactly when your units will use it. If you know for sure, feel free to let me know down in the comments. I believe it only works if he's doing an attack. For instance, like if, let's say, these goblins were right here in this hex, I think he would use it because it's in planes, so he can charge. But I think if, for instance, like he's in this town, he might use his melee attack, I think. Or in this forest. I think it really only works on flat terrain, the charge ability. But I can't say for 100% if that's true. So as you can see, there's all these hexes that are kind of lit up in green, like a lime green around them. That's just how far he can move. Oh, and something to keep in mind is that all enemy units have what's called a zone of control. So these Goblin Looters have control over this zone right here. Because if we look at Derek, he can move 4 on, and planes he can move 100%, and roads. So he should be able to go 4 hexes, but if you see here, he can go 1, 2, 3, not 4 for some reason, or 1, 2, 3, oh, same thing. But if you go over here, he can go 1, 2, 3, 4. The reason behind this is the second he enters one of these hexes next to the Goblin Looters, because they have they control this zone around them, they force the unit to stop moving. And so that's something you have to keep in mind so you don't get your units stuck in a position you weren't expecting. So that's why his movement's getting stopped at 3 here, and you can't go past him, even though he has the movement points. Most units in the game also can move once. Like, for instance, I can't click here to move Derek and then click here. If I want Derek to move here, I need to click here one time because Derek's only going to get 1 movement. And most units in the game, that's how it works. They can move 1 time. They can't move and then move again. The exception to this now is units like this scout right here. If we right click on him, we can see his perk is called segmented movement. And what this lets them do is it lets them do things like ignore zones of control, and they can move in steps. So they can move. They could move, attack, and then if they have movement points left, move again. So they're a special unit, and segmented movement is a really nice ability if you can get it on units. So that's something to keep an eye on. So you really want to check out what your units can do. So like I said, these scouts here, not only do they have segmented movement, they also have 4 movement points, all terrain, like we were looking at before. 3 sight, so they can see pretty far away. And they have an ability, unlike Derek, who had melee, and he had charge, he has an ability called Skirmish. Skirmish is a 1 hex away ranged attack. So he has to be right next to the unit he's doing, but ranged attacks don't get retaliated against. Melee attacks, Derek's charge, things like that, the enemy will get a counterattack against you. That's something to keep in mind. So these guys are really good at moving ahead, seeing what's there, potentially going ahead, throwing a spear at them and backing off, things like that. They are scouts. Our last 4 units we've got in the back here, we've got some militia. They have no perks. They have 3 movement, but their type is foot, so they're not the best. Like if they go through a forest, they can move through 2 forest hexes, for instance. And they only have 2 sights, so they're all right. 10 defense, 7 melee. They don't have any special attacks, just a basic unit. Same thing with these guys, they're peasants. Same thing, they're very basic. 5, 4, and if you'll see some of the units it says +2 here. Or the scouts here said +4. The reason, if you just go over it, it will tell you. So it says their defense skill normally is an 8, but they're getting a +4 because they're in this forest hex. That's also why they're getting a +4 to their attack, because they're in this forest hex. So same thing. These peasants are getting a +2 because they're in a village right now, so it gives them some bonuses. but they're pretty bad as a unit. They're not very good. And then we have 2 units of bowmen, which defense, not very good. Movement type, eh. Their main advantage on the bowman is their ranged attack, because it has a range of 2. So they can hit people, and the enemy can't retaliate, which is really nice. So our first goal here, because this is kind of the tutorial mission, we want to obviously get over here. And if we can do it in 8 turns, all the better. First thing we want to do is remove this goblin. If we look at him, he has a 5 plus 2 because he's in a village, and he has a 5 defense, a 5 attack, which right now is modified. It's a 7 and a 7. He also has a perk called Lazy, so he actually moves 1 point less because goblins by nature are lazy. So they're not too tough. Let's see. Our archers can move up here. So I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to see it. But if you look at that unit, do you see that there's some... Look at this unit. If you look, there's some little red marks, little red arrows around him, kind of pointing at him if I go over this space. So if you see those little red marks, that means that the archer, if we move here, will be able to reach this goblin and shoot him. So it's letting you know that, oh yeah, you move these hexes, you can hit that goblin, which can be useful to know. So if we move our archer here and our other archer here, they can hit him. So let's do so. Now, if we mouse over somebody, you'll be able to see how much the game is guessing you'll do. There's still dice rolls that are going to happen. The game is guessing that I will take no losses, which is true because he can't counterattack. And it's guessing that I'll inflict 2 losses on them. Let's see if that's true, though. No, I only inflicted 1. It's not 100% chance. And like I said, because the combat mechanics aren't obvious, all I know is it's comparing my 5 attack versus their 7 defense. So their defense is better than mine, which is why I'm not inflicting a ton of damage. Same thing. We could get 2. Let's see though. Oh, we actually rolled better than expected and got 3. So you can always do a little better or a little worse than what the thing's guessing, but it's normally a pretty good guess. Like, it gives you something to go off of. So he's got 3. And he's got 3. So they both could get up here and attack. Now, something to keep in mind, as I was talking about the morale failure before, is a unit can have a morale failure, and they can choose to withdraw if they take too much damage, but they won't be broken if they withdraw. If they have a morale failure, they'll withdraw, and they'll get a massive negative. The reason behind that this is important is if a withdraw or a morale failure happens, the unit will back up a hex away. Which means, like, let's say we move these militia here, and they attack, and cause that to happen, these goblin looters will end up maybe over here. And now this guy, who can move 3, before he could have moved here and attack, well, now he can't hit him anymore. So that's something to keep in mind, because potentially we could... Now Derek, on the other hand, could reach this hex if the goblin looters retreated there. And actually, because we know Derek can move 4 spaces, he could go 1, 2, 3, 4. Even if the goblin looters were to say retreat here, he could still chase them down. Because if they moved back, their zone of control would now be over here, and Derek could move here. So I think the militia are a little better with a 7 attack. Yeah, the peasants are only a 4. So let's move here. And normally they try to move away from the unit that's attacking them. So by attacking them this way, these goblin looters would move here, versus if we attack them from here, they'd move there. So like, this is guessing that they'll take 4 losses and we'll take 2. I could have the skirmishers go up here and do their attack, but I don't think I want to do that. It's better if I can move them up and let them do some scouting, because what's an easy way to explain this? If let's say, so right now the scouts can see 3 away. So they can see 1, 2, 3. So they can't see this hex. If I told my scouts right now to move to this hex, and there was an enemy there, when he gets there, what will happen is called an ambush. And my guy will actually get ambushed by the unit there. And I'll take a lot of damage. So you never want to blind send your units into an undiscovered area unless you really think there's nothing there, or it's a strong unit, because the ambush is just bad. So that's something to keep in mind. And because this guy has segmented movement, there would be no reason to do that, because we could move here, see what's there, and potentially move back. Most units don't have that option. So I think we're going to have this guy attack him, though. Let's see. So we got 4 losses. Oh, and we took 3. So we took a little extra. This guy did not die, though. Let's have the peasants move up. I'm trying to wait, because potentially Derek could move up farther if this guy retreats, and he may, because he's taking a lot of damage. He may withdraw in a moment. So we're both going to probably take 2 losses. Oh, we both only took 1, though, so he didn't retreat. Well, I'm going to send Derek up then. And he'll probably slaughter him, yes. So he's only got 6 hit points left. So he's just going to wipe him out and take no damage. Mostly because he's probably doing a melee attack. So he's got a 9 melee and a 12 defense. So this thing is a joke to him. And we could have attacked with Derek first, potentially. So let's move our scouts here. Okay. So now we can see that there is an orc mob over here. Oh, he has a +6. Oh, this is a castle over here. So he's getting a +6 to his defense and a +6 to his attack. So it'd be a lot harder to get him out of that. It'd be better if we could maybe bait him out. And if we move over here... Oh, there's nothing. There's nobody in this. But we have revealed there was a Goblin Looter, same unit we just killed, over here in the trees waiting to ambush us. So, So like this. He's getting a +4 to his defense and a +4 to his attack. But he's still lazy because he's over there. So let's, I think, end the turn. Yes. Okay, so they didn't do anything. Goblins are waiting to ambush us, huh? Let's move our archers up. We'll shoot them, get a few free points of damage in. 1 damage, so it's guessing 2, but... Oh, we got 3 that time, nice. And we need to capture this town. Let's have the peasants capture it.
We have expelled the goblins from the village. Marcus be praised, we were just in time. Many of the villagers survived the attack by hiding themselves in their cellars. They have generously rewarded us for rescuing them.
Excellent.
There is one more thing, sir. A lad told me that the village elder went to the ruined chapel not far from here just before the raid. It seems he is hiding something unauthorized within its walls.
So, as you can see, that's opened up a side quest over here, Ruined Chapel. And you can see there's an arrow pointing to it. If we go to our quest log, visit the Ruined Chapel. We don't have to go there. I already know that if we go there, we'll get an item. So it's worthwhile to go there. So while this is our main objective, and if we do that, we'll complete the mission. Gathering things like if we go over here, probably get some gold. So exploring the map can get you extra gold, items that can make the game easier later. And also killing off these, because technically we could bypass these auric mobs. We could bypass these looters and just rush down the middle potentially. But then we're losing out on the XP for killing them. And this game is very snowbally in that if you do well at the beginning with gold and getting your units XP and getting them leveled up and not losing them. If your units die completely, they're dead. As long as you don't lose them completely, they will heal up at the end of the mission. So that's something to keep in mind. So I think, in my opinion, it's more important to get that extra XP and gather the gold and items on the map than to try to, rush to the end just to get the gold victory, in my opinion. Because you'll, like, the gold, maybe it balances out the gold from looting things or getting the gold for a gold victory. But then you're still losing out on the XP, which I think is more important, in my opinion. And it's a lot of times better to go a little safer and slower than to lose units due to an ambush or a bunch of units you weren't expecting. Let's see here now. Let's move him here. Like this. He's going to take 2 losses versus his 2. Let's do that. Oh, nice. He did 3-3. Okay. Let's have... Oh, Derek could capture this, actually. So this is the Skirmish ability. I got to do damage. Oh. Okay, so this is the... I guess they call it retreat and not withdraw. But they've just withdrawn into the river. So as you can see, they're getting a -4. Oh, swamp, excuse me. -4 because they're in a swamp. And he leveled up, though. So as units level up, every level they have gives them +1 defense and +1 attack. So he's actually got that, but he's getting a -4 for being in the swamp. So his defense, terrible. Let's have Derek go over here and probably kill him quite easily. Well, we'll wait. This is the guy that's in the town you're supposed to be meeting.
File. Where were you? You were expected to be here a week ago. Do you think mercenaries are free to carry out orders as they please?
Father, we set out right after we were ordered to by the Trade Council. May I know your name?
All you need to know is that I'm a brother of the Holy Sword Inquisition. You are ordered to destroy goblins at the Kellerstein Fortress. I will be there with you. However, I won't be able to participate in the battle as I still haven't recovered from a recent injury.
Convenient. You won't be able to help us, dang guy.
Oh, one more thing. I preached at Mecklenburg earlier today, and I think many locals will be eager to join your army.
Nice. So, first things first, Derek, you're going to kill this guy. Yeah, he should be able to kill him, and I may take a hit point of damage, actually. But I didn't. Okay, I was going to say, really? I figured because, so that's the thing, too. If you can get units to retreat into something terrible, like if you look here, it says swamp, -8 to defense. Like, moving into this area with a mounted unit would be a disaster. Now, the one thing to consider is, if you look at these units, they have these globes right here. The top globe is green, and the bottom globe is always red. If it's red, the unit can still make an attack this turn. And if it's green, he can still move this turn. So at the end, if you think you're done with your turn, just always give a quick look. Like, for instance, these guys didn't attack, and they can't. There's nothing to attack around. But these scouts right here can still move, because remember, they have segmented movement. And he didn't use all his movement points. So he could actually capture this town for us, and we're going to do that. And you can see what the Inquisitor guy was talking about. Some peasants have just joined our army. They're only peasants, but you know, hey, anything that's happening will appear up here. So we want to get over here to take this, plus we want to take whatever's in this chapel, and I'd like to take this also, and we know there's some orcs over there. So let's end our turn. We'll decide what we want to do here. Let's have him move up. Okay, so there's another Goblin Looter over there. Let's move our archers over to support him, and we'll start peppering this guy. And then we can loot the chapel. Now, see, this unit's a little weak because he's only got 9 out of 15 friendly units. So something you can do right here is the rest button. You can only do this if you haven't done any actions this turn, so he's already moved, so he cannot do this. And it will heal some of the units up, because really the 6 units that are missing are currently just wounded and actually not killed, which is why you'll get them all back at the end as long as the entire unit isn't wiped out. So because there's only 9 of the 15, they're not full strength. They're actually going to take 2 losses versus his 1, huh? I'm going to send the peasants over this way. I'm going to have them work on those orcs. I really like those orcs to get baited. Like if we could get them to come out after these guys and lose that +6 defense bonus, that would be huge. Move him over this way. We'll let him move into the trees. Maybe we can jump this guy if he jumps out. And Derek, I'm going to have him continue to move forward. So like this, if there's a unit in this, Derek will get ambushed. I don't think I want that to happen. Let's move here. Okay, so we made the right choice. So if we had clicked on this, Derek would have been ambushed by these orc mobs and probably taken a significant amount of damage, which would be bad. This heal button, this camp button, the number of units or health you get back, because like if Derek does it, he just gets his health back because he's only 1 unit, is based on how many enemies are around. So like if I'm right here and I camp, I won't get. A better example is if this guy was to camp right now, it'll only get maybe 2 or 3 health back because there's a goblin right there. So that's something to keep in mind. Oh, it worked. Nice. Okay, oh well. So they all attacked us. I think that actually worked out good for us. So one thing that did happen that was negative was these guys, they didn't get broken at least, but they did retreat. They did retreat from that Goblin Looter when he hit him. So as you can see, that orc mob took almost no damage, and the peasant got pummeled. But the peasants are not throwaway because we can upgrade them later. But it's more important is that these guys, bam, not only took 4 points of damage, but because he ignores zones of control.
Gold! We found gold!
Nice. I can steal this castle out from under him, and he can't retreat back into it now.
It must be expected. Mercenaries are plundering instead of fighting against the enemy.
Hey, you know what, Father Divine? It's not cheap to recruit an army. And you can see your money down here. 150 gold. That's very nice. So now this guy is stuck on the outside. If he wants to get back in, he'd have to defeat my skirmishers, which are getting a +6 bonus. So it's not going to probably happen. Even though my peasants are going to take more losses than the orcs are, it's more just we're trying to kill them. There's a good chance the peasants aren't really going to do a lot more in this fight. Same thing. Oh, nice. Got 2. Lost 4, though. Ah, so this guy just got broken. So broken, you look at it, -4 to attack, -4 to attack, -4 to defense. So it's pretty bad. So right now his defense is a 1, which means this orc mob might do a lot of... He might kill him next turn. We'll see if he survives or not. There's not much I can do for him, though. Let's move here.
We have searched through the ruins, sir. There's no trace anyone's been there. But we found this. It should be of some value.
You're right, Sergeant. It appears to be a magical artifact. In the past, I would have sent it to mages. Now, however, I want you to give it to a worthy detachment.
So we got a burning sword. Oh, well, that was somewhat accidental, but that'll be fine. So when you find an item, it normally goes to whichever unit happened to run into it. So in this case, the bowmen have it, which they don't really need a +2 to their melee. But if we right click on it, you can see you get a +2 to melee and -1 to defense skill, which is nice if we give it to somebody else. So there's 2 ways to do that. Before every mission, you can swap items around with your units for free, which is what we're going to do. You can also go to the army management screen here and swap it around and attach it to a new unit, but if you do it during a fight, it costs money. And we'll see more of this army management screen in our next time, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So for now, the bowman will just continue to hold on to it and shoot these guys with arrows. Do I even want to send these guys over here? How strong are you now? 7. They're pretty equal in strength. Let's go over here. Yeah, they're both going to lose 1. Oh, they lost 2? They both lost 2. That's all right. And who do we have left? Oh, this guy never moved. These peasants. What's the movement of these guys? 3. Oh, nice. Oh, he'll probably be okay because he can hide in these, because he's going to get a +4. So he should be okay, and these two can probably finish him off. Nice. They can stay there, and Derek should just attack. Oh, yeah, look at that. He can pretty much kill these guys. 1 hit. Okay, so they're broken also, which means next turn, Derek can just hunt them down.
Help us, Marcus. It seems like the goblins left only the dead behind. Look, they didn't even have time to take their loot with them. Captain, I suggest we take everything. The locals won't need it now, and we need to start burying them.
Oh. So as you can see over here, this is what we need for the to finish the mission. There's a goblin robber, which I think maybe he is kind of like our scouts, except for he doesn't have that ability. But he is all-terrain, yeah. And then they have a goblin archer and then an orc mob, it looks like, defending this at the moment. So Derek will definitely want to wait for reinforcements. I think we're done for now. Perfect. The orcs. Oh, yeah, Derek's getting mobbed. He may need to back up for a minute. We'll see. Let's kill this guy. Perfect. I think Derek should be fine. He's got a nice 14 defense while he's in this building. I could back up, of course. So this circle that's under this unit means he's broken. If he rests, he will be fine. That's what this means too. So let's actually send the militia over. They should just kill him. Yes. The reason I had the militia do it is I'd prefer to get the archers moving back over to Derek. Same thing with these skirmishers. They can get in there. Free shot. Good. Okay. These guys are almost dead. So as you can see, they're not doing a ton of damage because they've only got 3 of their 15 units left. So what we'll do with these guys, we'll use that rest button we were talking about, which, as you can see, they got 7 health back and they're not broken anymore. So that rest button can really make a difference, but it does use their whole turn. So, I want to move you up more. Help Derek? Oh, probably. These 2 peasant units can probably help each other and deal with that guy. You know, Derek's still okay. Yeah, he's still holding them off. Good. Now these peasants, he's gonna go. He's on a hill. Yeah, he's getting +2 because he's on a hill. But once again, we'll just keep stabbing him because, I mean, he's so weak at this point. Yeah, he's got 1 unit left. We just kill you? There we go. Got him. Good. Meanwhile, archers can continue forward. This guy, let's have him heal. As you can see, he got +8, so then we'll move him up next turn. I think Derek can do the same thing. Normally, heroes will heal all the way up when they rest. So, I don't think it's affected as much by enemies being nearby. I think if enemies were nearby, he may not heal fully. But as long as enemies aren't nearby, I think heroes normally heal fully, which is nice. Let's move our skirmishers up. Crossing this river is always difficult also. Oh, and I didn't notice it happen, but if you look on this guy's picture, it looks like it's got some gold chevrons. That means this unit has leveled up. As you can see, he's level 1. That means we can choose a perk for him. You normally get 3 choices, so I can get him +1 defense skill. He'll get a forest ambusher skill, which gives him +1 defense and +2 melee attack in forests. Or Highlander, which gives him those same bonuses but in hills. I think I'll just give him the defensive bonus for now. And let's end our turn. I think we're in pretty good shape. I don't know if we're going to get the gold victory, because 2 turns, maybe. I don't know. Let's heal him. Let's heal both of them. And I believe you heal more if you're inside of a town, I think. Get our archers over here. Let's have this guy go this way. Unfortunately, because of the river and this square here's a swamp, most of these units, like, yeah, this guy does terrible. At best, he's going to move 1 space through a swamp. He'll move 1 hex at a time, so it's not the best. What's his movement through a river? That's pretty terrible also. You don't really want to stop your turn on a river or a swamp. If we move here, if there's a unit, say, in here, it's going to come over and get us, probably. Derek could easily move forward and attack this guy. Let's hit him, even though we're going to take some damage. And I guess something... Oh, nice, the robbers got broken. Something that you may have just noticed that happened there is if an archer... Let's say there's an archer right here. If Derek was to be attacked, the archer will support him with arrow fire, which is what just happened there. That goblin archer supported this guy. So he fired an arrow at me, and this guy attacked me. So you do need to keep an eye out for that. He's a hero, so I wasn't as worried about it. And he leveled up, which is huge. We get mastercrafted armor, +3 to defense, but -1 to all our attacks. +3 defense is really nice, though. This will negate impetuous, which we haven't seen what that perk is yet. It's actually a -1 though, which we'll see in the future. And it gives him +1 to his attack, or he gets a +3 to his charge skill. Only in planes though, which is I think where that happens. I think I'm actually going to give him this armor. This defense is so nice. I'm going to take a risk and move forward because I don't think... Yeah, there's no one else there. And this guy's broken, so he's not going to bother attacking because his attack right now is a 3. It's pitiful. So he could, but it won't be that bad. I mean, our defense is still a 4. Because he's broken, he probably won't do that. I think we're good. Ooh, that bowman. Well, I took a risk, and that is what it is. That's fine. Let's have him rest then. Resting also removes the broken condition. I took a chance there and it didn't work out. That's all right. I can't get across this river very well. I see, like I'm expected to do 0. Let's see if I cause any damage. No. Well, we'll move our archers up for now. Let's just move everybody forward. We may be able to get silver, possibly. What's his movement? A 3, so it would take him 3 turns to get over. But going this way is just as long, so I'll start moving over because he can ford the river. It just takes him a long time. I'm trying to decide if I want Derek to attack this guy. Could also attack this guy, but he's supported once again by that archer. Derek does 3 points of damage to this guy. So if we get this guy to withdraw, we could step in and we win the mission. Because we're not going to get gold, but I think we could get silver. Yeah, we have 4 turns for silver. Because the only thing we're really worried about now is losing a unit. Because it would not be worth it for us to lose a unit. Derek's only got 6 hit points. Let's go for it. Oh, nice. I didn't take any damage. Excellent. Even better. And he took 3. So he's almost ready to retreat. We're actually probably going to be a turn short for gold, I'm going to guess. Because this guy's going to be about done. We're actually going to move our units into the river, even though it's terrible, just because there's a chance they still get the 1. Let's move him here. Okay, so we've gotten him to retreat, which means we could walk into the city right now and win the mission, which means we should try to get some free XP. So I always recommend this. If you look at your quest log and you go, oh, okay, I got this many turns for whatever your next thing is going to be, you've got 2 turns that maybe you can kill a unit. And it's totally worth it if you can get a unit kill or 2. Get that extra XP, you might as well. Let's move everybody forward. Just to see. Okay, we have 1. All we have to do is literally step inside there. Derek could move. We want him to... No, I don't want him to move. Let's just wait. Oh, that's actually pretty nice. That guy, I'm guessing because it's a bowman, so, you know, it appears to the AI that, oh, that's an easy kill. Let's move up and throw at this guy, actually. Oh, there's a couple guys back here. Like I said, free XP, technically, for our units. And, well, free XP, always good. We just want to make sure we complete it in time to get the silver. We don't want to lose out on that. Oh, see, our unit just leveled up. Nice. Who was that? That was this archer unit. Let's level him up. +1 defense. Counterattack. Uses all attacks while defending. When the enemy tries to attack, a storm of arrows will rain down on him. If these archers notice an enemy preparing to attack, they shoot first. Oh. So I think, I'm not positive, I think this will make our guy potentially be able to kill the enemy before they can attack. Or +1 to attack. I think I'll take +1 to attack. The armor is nice. You really want to try to not have them in a position where they're getting attacked. Like, we've probably made a mistake if that's what's happening. Oh, this guy can get up here to attack this turn. Very nice. Yeah, that guy's going to retreat. And who do we got left? Anybody? No. Not really. Okay, so we've got, what, one more turn. Oh, 2 more turns, I guess. Yeah, we just need to capture it on this turn to get the silver. Very nice. Okay, well, let's see what we can do. As you can see, that archer fired because he was supporting. Oh, I might not be able to hurt that guy, huh? Oh, I might not be able to kill that guy. Did level up, very nice. And we are getting quite a few level ups. Let's give them the armor also for those guys. The melee units, I like armor. This guy needs to capture the town. I guess this guy can capture the town, actually, which means this guy, you know, he can't reach anybody. Skirmisher could move. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to kill anybody here. Maybe Derek. Oh, almost. He broke him. I mean, you still get XP for that. Oh, and actually, we could capture this.
You are right on time.
Because this should give us some free gold.
Myself. I'm simply too old for this. I remember when I gave orcs hell in my younger days. My father fought against them, and my grandfather before him. We have been fighting the goblins since the time of Marcus.
Thank you, old commander.
But it was never like that before. The goblins even burnt down the old fortress, and there used to be quite a lot of valuable items in there. Now it's all gone.
25 gold. I mean, it all adds up. I don't think there's really much else we can do, though, and I'd like to get the silver. So, because technically there's another town here, and if we captured it... Oh, wait, can we? Oh, because segmented movement, we can get that one, too.
Do you still remember
nice.
what you came here for? To liberate the Kellerstein fortress. I recommend you execute my orders without delay.
I like how Father Divine's just outraged. We're running around looting everything instead of saving the fortress. Hey, we need this money, Father Divine. You'll thank me in later missions when we have this extra XP and stuff. Nice. Extra 25, we'll take it. You goblins, I guess, will get to live, even though technically you're all going to get killed. Now, if we wanted to, we could kill all of them and go for bronze, but no, we're going for silver. The enemies are fleeing from Darrenhall. Soon all orcs and goblins will be sent back to the wastes. It's a great victory. Thank you.
It's not just another raid.
What's so special about these goblins? Even the peasants could have handled them if they hadn't forgotten which way to hold their pitchforks.
Wow, shots fired, Derek.
I have a bad feeling about this. Unfortunately, King Victor does not believe in premonitions.
I also prefer to rely on facts, Father.
Then I can only pray for this land and hope evil will pass it by.
All right, we have won. Huzzah! And because we won, and we got the silver, we gained 150 gold, and we got an extra unit of peasants. Because all of our units, and however experienced they are, always, continue on to the next level. So it's important not to lose units. It will really help you late game. If you're losing a lot of units and not getting enough gold, it can really snowball negatively against you later on. So, very nice. And we're going to stop right here for today because our next mission is Against the Wind. But we'll stop right here. I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope maybe you learned something. I know today's video was quite a bit longer. We went over a lot of the mechanics for the game. And I'll go over more as we go, but hopefully the next ones won't be so mechanically heavy. And if you have any other questions about how something works in this game, feel free to let me know in the comments section. If you're enjoying if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. And I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.